Hey, what's up, guys? This is GR Hoff, Dungeon Strength and Conditioning, and just wanted to give a, I guess, testimonial and sort of update from the USC Cert from Even-Esh that I did, I guess, in May of 2011. First things first, I cannot recommend Zach enough. Whether it's his certifications or his products, the training stuff, I think you get as a bonus with the cert. That's all great, but I've also invested in his Operation Thunder, and it's one of his biz building, ultimate warehouse gym manual type things, and it's sick. It's awesome. Since completing the cert, I did that basically straight out of college, and in reality, I mean, it really took the training of myself and my athletes to the next level. I basically trained this summer a bunch of football players using nothing but sandbags, kettlebells, had a homemade prowler, and we did all of our workouts basically out on a practice field, and just got guys brutally strong and explosive and had great results. One of my kiddos he went from he was a backup on varsity as a sophomore, went from being that backup to starting both ways on the offensive and defensive lines, and just absolutely crushed it. Was first team all district as a junior, and we're hoping to get him up to first team all region and hopefully all state next year. But we have a kid like that was, he was already squatting. I think he squatted 500 pounds in a powerlifting meet last year, so he was already brutally strong. But using Zach's methods from the certification, a lot of the warm up stuff, sandbag movements, other unconventional movements to kind of build his athleticism. We took him from being a strong kid that couldn't move and wasn't really an athlete to turning him into what was truly a beast athlete. Another example of a kid, he's actually one of my first clients up here in Minnesota. Moved from Texas, where I had a lot of connections, up here to Minnesota, and just hooked up with a gym. Awesome gym. Used some negotiating tactics from Zach's from the business Q&A. That was awesome, and basically using that information to help me build my business in a place that basically started completely from scratch. Doing it, building it, and should have some more concrete numbers here in a couple of months. Some pretty awesome stuff. But going back to the kid, for the training side of things, had a kiddo that could not hit a bodyweight squat. What? I know, pretty bad. But one of the things that Zach helped with so much, this kid couldn't do a pull-up, couldn't do a bodyweight squat, could barely hit 3 push-ups, and was with pretty bad form. One of the things that I think was so valuable about the cert was that Zach not only took you through different movements, different type of using different implements, sandbag training, things of that nature, but he showed us regressions on movements that help you work with an athlete that maybe isn't at the level that he needs to be yet. And so we started off with that kid, and couldn't do any of those things. And now we're working up to the point to where he's strong enough to work with these implements. He had bodyweight squats like nobody's business. We're starting to get him under the safety bar, doing some farmer's walk handle deadlifts, just because it keeps his body in better position. Anyway, long story short, using Zach's methods from the cert, getting him to the point to where he's getting stronger and basically using methods that I really wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Regressions that I probably wasn't prepared for. I was always a fairly high-level athlete when I got into the training stuff, and that was primarily what I was working with, higher-level kids that were more prepared. And if I hadn't had Zach's cert, I wouldn't be ready for the client that isn't able to do bodyweight squats, hit a bunch of push-ups yet, things of that nature. So for that, training-wise, two athletes, complete opposite end of the spectrum, and just completely killing it with methods we learned from Zach at the USC certification. 5 minutes into this, so I'll get a little bit of business in. Long story short, the business Q&A on the second day, it's the afternoon of the second day, is by far worth the investment in the certification in and of itself. Go prepared, go with questions. Zach doesn't hold back. He's going to answer all your questions. Whether you are, already crushing it in your business, he's going to find you a way to take it to the next level. All the way if you're a guy like me that isn't sure, okay, maybe thinking about getting my first spot, maybe want to rent space out of somebody else's spot. What's the best way to go about doing that? How do you negotiate from a position of power? What are the best ways to build a community, basically from scratch? And Zach will go through all that stuff. So go with questions. Odds are they're going to be guys and girls from every end of the spectrum, business wise as well. So you get to learn from their questions, but be prepared and make the most of it, because that Q&A is by far, you get, I don't know how many hours it was, but at least a few hours to pick this guy's brain with whatever questions you have, and it was just huge. It was huge, to say the least. But anyway, progress in certification has been, far and above and beyond my expectations, I guess. Really excited about taking my business to the next level as I get into a position to use more of those methods and take action on more individuals. So really excited. Can't recommend the certification enough. As they'll say, it's an investment. And when you take action on the methods, you're going to get the investment back, tenfold. Do it right. So anyway, definitely take action on the cert. Probably already wasting too much of your time, but again, this is GR, Thunder Strength Conditioning, crushing it since the USC certification back in May, and pumped to continue to connect with Zach and get even better. So anyway, GR out.